Hey y'all, Janice here. If you know me, you know I've been a realtor for quite some time, going on what feels like a decade. So what I've noticed is, I'm a realtor here in San Antonio mainly because I do live in San Antonio. And I've noticed, our market has gone up, it's gone down. The pandemic, that was a craze for a while, especially for us realtors. And now it's kind of slowed down quite a bit. So one of the things I was concerned about when COVID came, the market boomed, a lot more people did start to move here, is that there's a lot of unknowns when it comes to how taxes are done in our city. A lot of people come from places, you know, up north where taxes for homes are not very expensive. And when you buy a house here, a lot of new builds or builders here in San Antonio, they do say, hey, you're gonna have taxes, gonna get taken out of your mortgage, because a lot of times they put your mortgage and your taxes together and you just kind of pay a one lump sum payment. So if you're from north, again, market's just a little bit different and how they do their taxes. And what I've noticed in most times is they're not paying nowhere near what we pay here, and at least in San Antonio, for taxes. So I really am just here to encourage you guys to go and look up your taxes, or if you haven't already, know how much you are paying for taxes for your home. One of my concerns again was when people did begin to move here and start getting taxed, they had no understanding of how much that would affect their payments. So I really thought one of my biggest concerns is that people are going to get taxed out of their home. Because let's just say, this is an example, you move to San Antonio and you buy a home that's a new build. So if you buy a new build home, they were taxed the previous year on just land, right? So let's say land is $30,000. So they were taxed for a piece of property worth $30,000, and let's say their taxes were $700, maybe more. This is just hypotheticals. So then they buy this new house, they move in, and their mortgage does account for, and when you're getting pre-approved for a mortgage, right? Your mortgage accounts for the principal, the interest, the taxes, and the insurance, right? So they approve you based on, can you afford these things, okay? So when they put your forecasted taxes in there, they use the previous year. So if last year you got taxed at $700, they forecast and say, okay, your mortgage, yeah, you can get approved, you're gonna be paying nothing in taxes, when really that's not the case. And sometimes it's outlined a little bit better, but I've noticed many times, many times, buyers don't have that understanding that, hey, in the next year, you are going to get taxed, not on that $50,000 or $30,000 property. It is now a property with a house on it, which is now worth, let's say, $280,000. Or if you bought a huge, beautiful home, $400,000, $500,000, just kind of, you should know about in your neighborhood what the homes are worth, more or less, right? So when you're having to pay taxes on this $500,000 home, you really got to look at what the appraisal district is forecasting that your taxes are going to be for the year. So for 2024, it's already hit, right? I'm trying not to make this video long, but in 2024, you've already gotten the forecast for your 2024 taxes, which you're going to have to be paying. That a lot of the times comes out of your mortgage, because the mortgage has what's called their escrow account, which is where they're holding all of your tax money that you're paying for them, which they've again forecasted for you, but it's not exact. So a lot of people don't have an understanding of that. What's an escrow account and how does that affect my payments when it comes to my mortgage? You're gonna have to Google into that. I can't help you on that part, but I really want to encourage you to look at your taxes, look at your tax bill, see how much you're gonna be paying for 2024. Because what I've noticed is, unfortunately, in our appraisal district area, whatever, many people don't understand how taxes work and how they affect your payment, but they do. And when I said people are gonna get taxed out of their home, an example is, I do know somebody, no names, but I know somebody who this did happen to. And so she bought a new home, new build, her taxes were X, let's say $1,000 a year. Then for next year, which was 2024, they're taxing her on a home that's worth $250,000, right? So she didn't realize her payment was going to go up $1,000 a month. Her mortgage, taxes, insurance, all, so instead of her paying her $2,400 note or whatever, sorry, let's just say she pays $1,400 for her property and insurance, principal insurance. Her taxes went up $1,000. So her principal interest was $1,400. Her taxes went up $1,000 compared to last year. So therefore she's now having to pay $2,400 per month instead of that $1,400 that she was paying all last year. And so that's pretty much not doubled her mortgage, but she can no longer afford to live where she's living because her taxes have significantly affected the payment that she pays to her mortgage company. So now is the time what's called to protest your taxes. If you think that your taxes are being way more, like they're taxing you, let's say your property is $300,000 and the county is taxing you at $400,000, that is going to affect your payment that you're going to be paying to your mortgage, your escrow account, right? They're going to have to increase that to account for this money that needs to go to pay for your taxes. So I encourage you, please go look at your taxes. I actually encourage everybody to protest. If you need help, I would love to help you. Reach out to me. My phone number is on the screen. My email's on the screen. Find me. I will do my best to see if I can help you. Because our city, the inflation, the amounts, everything is going up. And it's a sad thing to see and say, but I see every day more and more homes hitting our market, more and more homeless people on the street. And I want our city to be aware. I want you to be aware. There are things that you can do to prevent this and for us to get taxed out of our homes. These are people's livelihoods. These are the things you pay for every day. Very, very important. So go look at that tax bill. See how much your taxes are increasing, if they are increasing, and make sure it makes sense. You cannot be taxed over 10% of what you were taxed last year. If you are at the threshold, at the 10% max, reach out to me because I think that's happening to everybody. They are getting taxed at the max and not understanding why or how or how. Okay, our market's doing great, so yeah, my home's going up in price. Okay, this is the livelihood. Yes, your property may be going up in value, but we're actually in a recession. So last year and the year before, just 2023, your taxes should be going down. And if they are going up, there is something wrong, and I want you to be aware. Please reach out to me or go do your own research. Protest with the Bexar County Appraisal District. Now is the time. You have until May 15th. Okay, thanks.